Hello, everyone. Welcome to Barca News. It is April 9th, 2026, and Barcelona have received a lucrative offer from South Korea. I'm going to tell you the details of that offer. Also, Rafael Leo being linked with Barcelona once again. And finally, Pini Zahavi, the super football agent currently in the city of Barcelona. And I'm going to tell you why. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Bo. We'll begin this video with the news that Barcelona have received a financially lucrative offer from South Korea so the team can go to the Asian country and play a friendly match. And in exchange, this offer promises Barcelona between 9 and 10 million euros to play that friendly match during the summer. Now, as I reported previously, Hansi Flick has requested from Barcelona not to plan any preseason tours because, of course, this summer we do have the World Cup. So Hansi Flick doesn't want his players to start the season all exhausted, having played a World Cup and then go on a summer preseason tour to another country. So instead, Barcelona have decided that the team will train in St. George's Park in England. Maybe play some friendly matches there, but he doesn't want the team traveling long distances to different time zones. But just know that now South Korea have offered Barcelona 9 and 10 million euros for a friendly match there. We'll see whether this will sway the club's decision or not to hold a preseason tour because, of course, that is a lot of money. Now, Barcelona do have offers from other countries as well to play friendly matches there. For example, they have an offer from Peru on the table worth 7 to 8 million euros. They have an offer from Morocco worth 5 million euros. And there's also an offer to play against Napoli at the Diego Armando Maradona Stadium in Italy. Now, Barcelona had previously rejected an offer from Libya worth 5 million euros. That one was rejected for security reasons. So my question to you is, would you have the team go to South Korea in exchange for 10 million euros? I wouldn't. I think, of course, the health of the players should come first. Having to play a World Cup and then travel halfway around the world for a friendly match is not the smartest way to begin next season. Now on to the next bit of news because our friends at 1899 Twitter page who always post really cool things posted the following picture, which is the Spotify Camp Nou exactly 1 year ago versus what it looks like right now. Incredible difference. Of course, a year ago, as you can see, the third level was still going up. There's the metal framing of the third level. And now, as you can see, all three rings have been completed. You can see the stadium starting to take shape. And of course, right now, the plan is to, start doing all the waterproofing of the cement. And then in the summer, they'll start installing the seats in the third ring and start working on the VIP rooms with the stadium reaching full capacity by the end of this year. And of course, next year, they'll start installing the roof. And by the beginning of 2028 is when the stadium is expected to be fully completed. Now, I did visit the Camp Nou, of course. I think it was 2 weeks ago. I did make a video at the Camp Nou about the state of the Camp Nou. So if you want to see it, make sure to check out the video on the channel. Now on to that next bit of news because guess who has been linked with Barcelona yet once again? It's no other than 26-year-old Portuguese winger Rafael Leo. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Leao has been linked with Barcelona yet again. Now it looks like Leao has had some issues with Massimiliano Allegri, and given that AC Milan will be looking to restructure their squad this summer, they are now have decided that it's perhaps the best thing for both Leao and the club to part ways, with reports stating that AC Milan could be placing Rafael Leo on the summer transfer market for around 50 million euros, which, if you ask me, that's an incredibly low price for someone like Leao. Now, Barcelona do not consider Leao as an objective. They're not actively pursuing Rafael Leo. But as you know, if you've been watching the channel for quite some time, that Jan Laporta absolutely loves Leao. It's his favorite player. So even though right now Barcelona are not actually considering the signing of Leao, given that the news has broke that AC Milan will be placing Leao on the market, who knows, Barcelona might actually start considering him again. Because, of course, Barcelona did consider Leao last summer, but AC Milan were asking for way too much money. So Barcelona said no, but for 50 million euros, that might change things. So my question to you is, for 50 million euros, would you sign Leao? Yes, no, maybe? Let me know down below in the comment section. Now, speaking of signing players right now in the city of Barcelona, the super agent Pini Zahavi, who represents several players at Barcelona and who's a close friend of Joan Laporta and a former business partner of Joan Laporta, is currently in the city of Barcelona to discuss 2 contract renewals with his clients. And then, of course, with Barcelona, the first one being Robert Lewandowski, because yes, Pini Zahavi represents Lewandowski, and as you know by now, the club have decided to extend the contract of Lewandowski by 1 more season because it expires this summer, and they want to offer him a 1-season extension with a decreased salary, a much lower salary than what he currently receives, and even though there's plenty of reports stating that Lewandowski wants to stay, of course, he has stated that he will not make his final decision until April. So now Pini Zahavi is in the city of Barcelona to discuss with Lewy Barcelona's offer and then to go back to Barcelona and discuss with them Lewandowski's reply. Now, it's reported that Lewandowski was unhappy with his substitution during yesterday's match against Atletico Madrid. As you know, after Pau Cubarsí received that red card, we saw Lewandowski and Pedri being subbed out. It looks like Lewy was not happy about that. And this has accelerated or intensified, I should say, the interest of teams like Juventus and also AC Milan, 2 teams that have been interested in Lewy for quite some time, and seeing him not being too happy about being subbed out, they saw the opportunity to intensify their interests because they figure, hey, maybe we can convince him to come to our team if he's not too happy with what's going on in Barcelona, which, of course, is the reduced minutes. Now, reports stating that the reason why Lewy was subbed out was because Flick needed, more press, more intensity up front, given that Barcelona were reduced to 10 men. And, Lewy up to that point wasn't really producing much. So we'll see what happens. We'll see whether Lewy will agree to stay at Barca for 1 more season or whether the fact that he's been getting used less and less and now even subbed out during the first half after the first half, I should say, will affect his decision on whether to stay or leave. Now, the other person that Pini Zahavi is in Barcelona for is, of course, Hansi Flick, who Barcelona want to extend his contract by 1 more year from 2027 until 2028. Of course, Flick has stated that he doesn't want to make a decision until the end of the season, but nonetheless, Pini Zahavi is in Barcelona to discuss with Flick Barcelona's offer to extend his contract. We'll see what comes out of these meetings because, of course, I want Flick to stay. I hope that Flick stays, but we'll see what he does because, as Flick has said many times, this will be his final club. After that, he plans to retire, and also he doesn't plan to coach for too long because he is 61 and he wants to spend some time with his family, kids, and grandkids. Now, let's end today's video with the statements of Atletico Madrid CEO Cerezo, who was asked before yesterday's match about Julian Alvarez's constant links to Barcelona and whether he can guarantee that Julian will be at Atletico Madrid next season. And this is what Cerezo said. Can you guarantee that you'll still be alive at the end of the year? Question mark. And then, of course, jokingly he said, well, imagine that I am God and I will decide when he has to leave. So Cerezo said he will decide when Julian wants to leave. In other words, Julian is not for sale, or at least that's what he's trying to say. And of course, as we know, Atletico Madrid are preparing a contract renewal offer for Julian that will make him the highest paid player on the squad in order to, send them a clear message that he is their long-term bet. Now, during yesterday's El Chiringuito program, a reporter who's named J. Jordi, someone who usually has good information, sometimes he doesn't, stated that Barcelona will begin negotiations with Julian Alvarez starting Wednesday. That was kind of like the exclusive that he had. But honestly, I just don't see this happening. Not to mention, I would rather it not happen because even though I like Julian, he's an incredible player. He scored an amazing goal against us. It's not really what we need right now. Right now, we need a center forward, and that's not Julian Alvarez, even though he usually does play in that position. Anyways, that is all the news for this video. We'll be uploading another video shortly, so stay tuned to the channel. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment, and as always, Viscars.